Hey guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be looking at who plays who this weekend in the Premier League, what I think will happen in them games, and then I'm also going to look at the team to watch for this week in my mind. Right, so it kicks off tonight with Man United Leicester, and judging by the fact that Mourinho's been moaning all summer, I think Leicester might beat him 1-0. I think they'll sit back most of the game, Leicester will, and then nick a late winner to annoy Mourinho even more. Because the fact he didn't get a centre half will have annoyed him a lot. But the game tomorrow lunchtime is Tottenham versus Newcastle at Newcastle. So any other week in the season, this would be a really easy win for Tottenham. It would be a walk in the park. But the fact that most players have only just come back from their holidays after international duty, there could potentially be a shock. But I still think Tottenham beat them 3-1. Son, Lamella, Lucas will all score. But, you know, Newcastle's best chance will be going at our midfield, given the fact when Yama's struggling, then Dembele and Dyer haven't been back long. We might just put Eriksen back there. But the first 3 o'clock kickoff is Bournemouth versus Cardiff, which I honestly think could be a 0-0 draw, but I wouldn't be surprised if either team nicked it 1-0. But if I had to select a team to nick it 1-0, it would have to be Bournemouth, in my mind. But the game which I think will be the game of 3 o'clock kickoff is Fulham versus Crystal Palace. Because I think there could be goals in that one. Considering Fulham have got some quite good attacking players, Palace will probably come out and attack them because they're a newly promoted side. So I'm going to predict 3-2 Palace, with Zaha scoring a hat-trick and Mitro and Tom Cairney scoring for Fulham. But the other 3 o'clock kickoff is Huddersfield versus Chelsea. And I think again it could potentially be a chance for Huddersfield. But you know, I predict Chelsea will just about nick it 2-1. One of their subs will come on and win it late like they always do. But you know, it could be a really close game because Huddersfield have brought in some good players. And Chelsea didn't look great against Manchester City last week, in my mind. But the last 3 o'clock kickoff is Watford versus Brighton. And honestly, I think this could be a walk in the park for Brighton, really. Considering Watford don't have a really good striker. And Brighton have brought in some really good players this year. One of which I'll mention in a minute. But they have got a really good squad this year, Brighton. I think enough to keep them up by a long way. The later kickoff tomorrow is Wolves versus Everton. Wolves' first game back in the Prem. Everton spent big yesterday on Mina, Gomez, who was the other one? Bernard and Kurt Zuma potentially. So I think although Everton spent big, I think Wolves might beat them 2-1 with Jota and Moutinho both scoring, but it will be a tight game between the two of them, and both teams shouldn't really be near the relegation battle next year. This year, in fact. The earlier kickoff on the Sunday is Liverpool versus West Ham. I think Liverpool will win that one 3-1, but West Ham will give them a good game for most of it. So I think Liverpool should really win the league this year. Really. The other earlier game is Southampton versus Burnley, which, you know, could be quite a tight game. considering neither are a really big team. But I think Burnley will nick it like 2-0 or something like that. And then the final game of the weekend is Arsenal versus Manchester City. Emery's first game. We get to see the champions. Could be a really interesting game, really, between the two of them. But I think Man City and Arsenal will draw 2-2. I think Arsenal will turn it, will go behind early, and everyone will start criticising them again. But then they'll turn it around. But as for the team to watch this week, the first player, I could do it in order of the games really. From the Friday night game, I think the person to watch is Harry Maguire. Because all that stuff happened with Man United. And now everyone's thinking, well, can he perform against them like a day after? Because I think he can. And I think it would be really funny if he gets clean sheet against them now. But from the early game on the Saturday, Harry Kane, if he played, would be the one to watch. But you know, he'd never scored in August. Given the fact we've got United coming up in August, we're going to need him to up his game. So, you know, he should score in August. But the player to watch, Bournemouth Cardiff, I couldn't find a player to watch for, because there's not really a lot to watch out for in that game. But Fulham Cardiff, Will Zaha, it's one to watch out for, because can he produce what he produced last year and drag him away from the relegation zone? Can he stay fit all year? From Huddersfield Chelsea, obviously I've already mentioned that Kepa is the one in goal, because I think that could be really interesting to watch him. In fact, he's the most expensive goalkeeper ever now. And it could be really interesting to see if he makes an error or not. The other one to watch in that game is another one of Chelsea's new signings, Jorginho. Because he was wanted by Man City, and I reckon he could be one of the new signings who flops this year very easily. The player to watch from the Brighton-Watford game, I struggled to find one, but in the end I settled on Jahan Basha from Brighton, their new signing, who was really good last year in the Eredivisie in the Dutch league, and I think he could be really good for them this year. The one to watch from the late kickoff is Jerry Mina, because you know, he's Everton's big new signing. Everyone wondering what he can do. I think he'll do well for him. The one to watch from the earlier kickoff on Sunday, the first one, or the one from each team. The one from Liverpool is Alisson. Can he live up to his price tag and keep a clean sheet in his debut? On to watch West Ham is Jack Wilshere. Can he live up to what West Ham will be expecting of him this year? Or will he just flop under the pressure? I couldn't really find a new one to watch from the Southampton-Burnley game. But the one to watch from the Man City game, there's one from each side. Mahrez is a new Man City signing, their only real signing this summer. Can he deliver? Where will he fit in? It's going to be a big question mark. But the one to watch from Arsenal is Aaron Ramsey. Can he live up to what Emery expects of him? Is he as good as everyone thinks he is? You know, he's going to be their main player this year if what Emery said is anything to go by. So that could be a really interesting scenario. That could be the end of this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.